We're remembering a man that knew no sense of time when it came to people. He walked up and said hello, and everyone that he touched knew. His time with you was endless. His love and understanding for your situation was endearing to each of us. Because of his psychological and profession as a psychologist, it rang true, but it rang true in a way that was special for all of us. A person who loved Notre Dame, along with, of course, the Green Bay Packers, as we can see by the table and memorabilia. He was raised in a post-Depression era. He, although was a rich man, he lived his life somewhat in a very austere sense, held on to things, collected things. His childhood toys, cartoons, pictures, clothes are still with us today. Although it was very cathartic going through one or two or three of his domiciles, whether it's his office, his apartment, his home that he shared with his parents. Each day brought new surprises and discoveries or memories triggered by articles, pictures, clothing, books. A sense of history was always engaged whenever I stepped foot into his space. We seldom know people with the awareness of what life brings us. It brings us a sense of togetherness with those we share time with, love of family and friends, and a real appreciation for an event anytime when friends and family gather. I think he learned it from his parents, first his father, of course, and mother. A decorated war veteran, his mother, a doting mother, a housekeeper, a nurturer, a protector, and allowed Jim the ability to be free to discover, free to basically grow as a young man into an adult. Some of us met him, obviously, at that point, at a young adult age. Others knew him when he was young. A reoccurring sentiment was always Jim shared everything he had, whether it was a comic book, a special toy, a gun belt, his fort, his cottage, his bunk bed. He was somebody that truly embraced the idea of sharing and loving and nurturing those around him. I miss my cousin, of course, as we all do. But I celebrate the sentiment and the feelings I have for family and friends by his example. I only look to the coat rack in all its iterations of time, although timeless. And everything about Jim really brings me joy and heartfelt love for everyone sharing this day.
Jim, and in his later life, Thrill. Jim was one of about 40 of us that were in Innsbruck together in our sophomore year. And it was a very electric, both electric and eclectic group of people, from which great accomplishments were made, whether it was in the area of law, or physics, or medicine, a really remarkable group of people. But what we knew was that with all of our accomplishments, Thrill, Jim Wittling, was our true north. He had in himself, what Patrick said, an innate sense of sharing, and caring, and loving that was unequaled by any of us and anyone he knew. And you know, it wasn't always easy for Jim to do that, because he was at the same time intensely introspective. And he would think about things that others, most of us here, would never have the courage to do. And with that, he dedicated himself to caring for others. And I think it was suitable and, thankful that Jim was nocturnal, as we all know. And because of that, Jim could do what he wanted to do and counsel people who likewise wouldn't have that opportunity oftentimes. Whether it's because they worked the day shift or they worked the night shift, Jim was there. You know, he'd be there at midnight. He'd be there at 10 o'clock at night. And he did that because he loved it, and he loved it because he loved, everyone that was around him. So we miss him greatly, and it was just fortunate to have him with us when we did. So God bless Jim Wittling. Hear, hear.